Hi, it's B. Corey and welcome to my channel. I'm excited to be eating with you guys today. My little snack, but that's actually we're going to get into for the last bit of the video. So I'm honestly just going to jump right into what I ate this week, how I cooked it. So let's get started. This week, meal one was lentil burgers and roasted sweet potatoes and Brussels sprouts. So I actually did Edgy Veg's newest potato video that just came out recently, and she cooked it in vegetable broth, oil, and some seasonings that I'm showing you now. So it's like oregano, thyme, pepper, and rosemary, some olive oil, and then I also diced up some garlic to add halfway through the cooking. So I have her video linked down below as well if you want to check it out. She used just regular Yukon potatoes, and I did it a little bit differently, but same kind of concept. I peeled my sweet potatoes, as you see, dumped the scraps into compost, and then I sliced my sweet potatoes the way you would like first, like sweet potato toast, like long ways. And then I sliced them again almost like fries before dicing them into smaller cubes. This is good. I rinsed off my Brussels sprouts next in the sink. I cut off the ends of them and then I sliced them down the middle. For larger ones like this, I ended up quartering them as well just to make them all more uniform, and I did that for the whole bag of my Brussels sprouts. This is a mixture of the veggie stock, oil, and actually it's just veggie stock and oil. I added the seasoning separately. This pan had a big kind of hill in the middle of it, so all of the sauce kind of went to the sides, so I had to like zhuzh it around a little bit, but ultimately I just ended up adding my chopped up veggies to it, scooping up portions of my veggies to add them into the broth until it was all evenly coated. Yeah, it ended up working out. When I put those in the oven for the first 20 minutes on 400. Now I jumped right into my next recipe, which is egg fried rice. So this is some 2-day-old fried rice. This was a part of my meal prep for this week. So I boiled about half a cup of brown rice. That was the last bit that I had, which is what inspired this meal, honestly. Because fried rice is better with older rice, I just let it sit in the fridge. It was only going to be one day, and then life happened, so I didn't get to it until 2 days later, but it was great. It was dried out at that point. You really don't want like that mushy rice for your fried rice. And then I have a quarter of a white onion, 4 cloves of garlic, some green onion that were on their way out, so I ended up just using the last 3 sprigs of that in this as well. And then I took a little bit of my brother's ginger that he had laying around for this as well. I ended up using 6 eggs for my fried rice, and soy sauce, sesame oil, and a can of mixed vegetables, depending on where your budget is. If frozen works better for you, if fresh works better for you, do what's best for you. For me and my budget, the can was the cheapest, and it ended up working out really well, so that's what I ended up going with. So here I am just slicing up my onion, slicing it before I dice it, and then I do the same with my ginger. I also dice up my garlic for my stir fry and to add halfway through to the roasted veggies that are in the oven at the time of this recording. I also scrambled 6 eggs and set those to the side, and then went back into the kitchen. At this point it had been the first 20 minutes, so I pulled out my veggies from the oven. When I made my rice, I also made my lentils for this week, so those are also part of my meal prep. So that was, I believe, half a cup of dry lentils that I cooked, and it made, it might have been a little over half a cup, but it wasn't a full cup. But I'm so bad at measuring stuff, I'm sorry y'all. But it was a little bit more than a half a cup of lentils that I put in there. Dry lentils that I cooked up just according to the package instructions. and I had that sitting. I also, like, when I was dicing up my onion for my stir fry, I also used another quarter of the onion and just sliced it and put it on top of my veggies while they were roasting, because I was going to add that to the mixture for my lentil burgers. So here you see me just taking the onions off top of the potatoes and Brussels sprouts so that I can sprinkle the garlic on it before I do end up adding the onions back on it and then putting it in the oven for the last 20 minutes to finish roasting. Okay, next up is my stir fry. I'm sauteing onion and ginger, just sweating it out a little bit in the same pan I cooked my eggs in. I add my canned vegetables. I add my rice and my garlic at the same time. This is me attempting to show you the browning that I'm getting on the bottom of my rice. I don't know if you can super see it, but that's when I decided to add the egg on top. And this is what it ends up looking like with my egg and my green onion on top. I let that sit on a very low simmer to get it browned on the bottom. While I just cleaned up, I had a lot of veggie scraps and stuff like that at this point. So cleaned up my kitchen while I let that simmer on low for a little bit. I went on next to my black bean burgers. I got a little carried away and I forgot that I needed to be recording. So I already blitzed about half a cup of oats before I remembered to turn the camera back on. So that's what you're seeing here. To the oats I added liquid smoke. I also added some dried black beans. I cooked these dried black beans, again, a part of my meal prep. So those were the three things I cooked for my meal prep. My rice, my lentils, and my black beans. I boiled them in water and tomato paste just because I had like a tablespoon of tomato paste left over from the meals that I had last week. So I just put that in the water and dissolved it and then added my beans to it. I also added some seasonings at this point: cumin, oregano, and paprika, as well as nutritional yeast, 3 cloves of garlic. That one was a small one. I added 2 very large cloves, a jalapeno, and half of my lentils. This is what the consistency looked like after I'd blended everything up. I added maybe like a quarter cup of water just because it wasn't blending. I then poured it into a bowl. I added my lentils, and I didn't cook these. I just pattied them out and separated the layers with parchment paper and put them into my Tupperwares. So that was it. That was my meal prep day. It was super simple. It really didn't take that long. I had my lentil burgers. I have my egg fried rice all sauteed up into the side with the green onions mixed in it. And I have my Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes as well, all roasted. These turned out really, really well. I was a little nervous like halfway through the cooking because they weren't getting as crispy as I thought they should. They ended up working out really well and getting crispy. And I think especially baking it, so when I made it the next day, it was nice and crispy after baking again. I did forget to add salt and pepper to my lentil burgers, but I just cracked some salt and pepper on top of the patty before I put it in the oven. Let it go in the oven on like 375, I think, for about 10 minutes. Then I flipped it and I added my veggies to the side and let that roast for another 10 to 15 minutes. I added a dollop of barbecue sauce, and that was it for my snack this week. And what I'm eating right now was 3-layer dip. So I had my black beans, my salsa, and my avocado. I opened up my refried bean can and just mixed it in its can so that it wasn't all gelatinous on the top. I scooped out the portion that I wanted and put it to the side. I sliced up my avocado. It wasn't completely in half, so I ended up using the whole top portion of that avocado and mashing it up with a fork with garlic powder, salt, and pepper. I had my black beans in the microwave for like 30 seconds just to warm them up. Out of the mic, put some salsa on top, my guacamole on top, added some tortilla chips, and it was thebomb.com. What I'm eating right now, I added 2 eggs to it because I had 2 eggs left in the carton. I know I went grocery shopping today, so I wanted to like clear out my fridge a little bit. So I just added 2 eggs to my to the mixture, and today's Friday. I had the rest of my stir fry for after my workout this morning, and then I had to record another video and just did a couple of other things. So it's snack time now. And this is really bomb. I think I made 7 patties, so it was 2 more than I needed, but I'm gonna eat that for this weekend, which works out great. I didn't have to like buy any quick things from the store when I went grocery shopping today. Well, actually I did. I ended up buying some tortilla, some corn tortilla shells, so I'm gonna probably eat those as lentil patty tacos of some sort over this weekend. If you're interested in seeing what I eat in the weekend, let me know. That's like a video concept that I've been thinking of. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you want to see for me in terms of like my weekend meal prep or eating habits. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this now 4-layer dip since I added the eggs and my sparkling water. Thank you, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.